Our spirit. What is it? Where does it go? Are we able to see them using our mind's eye? If so, just what can spirit teach us? Welcome to School Through Spirit. Host DeEtte Renee is a certified psychic medium and master teacher of psychic and mediumship development through LWISSD. DeEtte was born knowing spirit and now is here to help you better understand the spirit world. And now your host, DeEtte Renee.
Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome to School Through Spirit with DeEtte here, your host on the Edge Network, a show where I come in every Monday morning and talk to you about things from spirit, information I've been listening to all week, and then collaborating it with the book from Neil Diamond Walsh, which we all know I love. What a crazy week we've had, guys. Good morning, Tim. What an absolutely crazy week this has been. For everybody that's been listening to me or following me, you've known I have not had a website up. And just realizing an email that was attached to that, everybody's been sending emails to, and I don't have any access to it. So straightening up those things this morning, starting the week off right, and kind of just going to town on that stuff. So for everybody that is looking to find me, I'll put my email up in the comments along with letting you know, hopefully within the next week, my website is live for you to follow, to find me. I don't know, to send me messages, whatever it might be. So there we go. Putting it up. Beautiful. Oh my gosh, it just goes up a ton of times, doesn't it? So today, just so everybody knows, on our 5-card stud, we are using the Goddess Oracle deck, and this is by Amy Sophia Marashinsky. Beautiful deck. I cannot wait to open this. It's already been a crazy morning. It's going to continue to be a crazy morning, and I'm okay with that. So let's look at this, the beautiful picture here that we are using from the book today, and just a very small reading if you think about it. But it says, if you force another to keep a promise, do you think by doing so that you yourself would escape injury? I tell you this, more damage has been done to others by persons leading lives of quiet desperation, that is, doing what they felt they had to do, than ever was done by persons freely doing what they wanted to do. Wow, that feels like a twofold question, doesn't it? Or twofold statement. And yeah, I think this will, on many different levels, does very much resonate over this last week for me. And when we're looking at this, let's just kind of look at the first part. You know, you force another to keep a promise to you. By doing so, you yourself wouldn't escape injury. And I will tell you what, that is so huge. That is so big, because so often, you know, I've heard this. I cannot tell you how many countless times I've heard this in my life going, my word is my bond. My word's all I have. If I give my word, I got to follow through, or blah, 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 blah. And is that nice? Yeah, it's incredible nice. It's awesome when you have, when you can trust in somebody's word. And I'm not saying that's not what we shouldn't be doing, because for all being said, you know, we'd like to be able to trust people and what they say, and to say that they're going to back up what they're going to say. But let's throw in the but clause, okay? When we look at that, and, you know, you have somebody that's promised to, don't worry about something. It's always going to be there. I'm always going to have your back no matter what, blah, blah, blah. Awesome. I want to hold the person to that until it no longer works for them. Why? Because though a lot of times we have statements that are very blank statements, and they're a long-term, long-ending statements that people like to make. And life changes, things change, life happens. And when that comes to being, you have to kind of reevaluate when somebody said something like that to you. Does it still work for them? Does it? And if you force somebody into holding that word, is it going to work for yourself? And I'm going to tell you, probably not. Probably not. Why? Because you're no longer focused on the task at hand that needs to be done. Instead, you're focused on a person that just can't do it anymore. They just can't bring themselves to plate to honor what their words are. And you never know what's happened. But I'll trust you, if you're doing that, you're going to have cause injuries to yourself. And what I mean by that is when you're counting on somebody else to do something for you because they've said they're going to, you're only ever going to focus on that one person doing it. Only one person doing it. And what happens is you shut down your aspects or ability to have anything else done for you or by somebody else or even by yourself. And that really isn't a good place to be at, is it? It's, so I'm not going to say not to kind of, listen to other people and hold people on their word, because quite honestly, I think this is really quite a narrow stretch of things, because a lot of times when somebody says they're going to do something or promise to you, it's something they want to do. It's something that they're eager to do. They're looking forward to do, but it always doesn't sit with that. So the other part of this is more damage has been done to others by persons leading lives of quiet desperation, that is, doing what they felt they had to do, that ever was done by persons freely doing what they wanted to do. Now, I really like this because why? It opens up the door of possibilities. It just opens up the door of possibilities. And I can look back on my life, and I'm sure a lot of people can, okay? And when I look back on my life, I literally kind of sit back and think about when I was going to school to be a nurse, okay? Not something I ever wanted to do. It wasn't something I wanted to do. I was in college. Yes, I signed up for nursing because, quite frankly, I had to sign up for something, or they really wouldn't let me through the front door to do just regular generals. I had to have a possible destination. And although they stated that I could change that destination later on, I had to sign up for something initially. So I did, and I signed up for nursing. And as time went, by the time I got to clinicals, my first day of clinicals, I knew the last thing I wanted to do was nursing. In no way, shape, or form did I want anything to do with that career. I was just like, I was mortified. I hated it. I hated everything about it. There was nothing that felt natural to me. It was nothing that drove me to doing that. But what had happened was I didn't make promises to people, but I said, I made comments. I had conversations, which really led to the fact of me feeling obligated to do this career, obligated to walk into a career that I was going to pretty much do for 45, 50 years. I felt obligated to do it, never wanting to do it, never feeling that, yay, I want to graduate and be this person. But that obligation kept me moving forward, kept me doing it, kept me in the blood and the guts and the wounds and everything else that goes with nursing, because there's a lot of it. And thank goodness, except for vomiting, I have a pretty steel stomach. But it wasn't something I wanted to excel at. And I will tell you what, I did excel, because when it comes to doing things, whether I like it or not, I'm very well at excelling at something. And I don't know why. It's kind of the technicalities of it I'm good at. And I continued to do it until I found my passion. And when I found my passion, I struggled. I struggled with walking away from that career. It was probably the hardest thing, because it wasn't the career itself that I was walking away from. I honestly felt like I was walking away and disappointing everybody that said, oh my God, this is where you need to be. And oh my gosh, what you're always going to be able to fall back on this. And oh my gosh, all these things. And that was where my problem was. And I will tell you, I fell into quite a depression for quite some time. I literally found jobs that were in the nursing field that did not make me feel like I was nursing at all, just so I didn't have to do that career anymore. And it ended up coming down to my demise, if you really want to know. It really was a huge part of my going into a depression, not being able to function, not being able to deal with life, because it wasn't where I was supposed to be. I'd already spent 21 years doing it. And quite frankly, it was 21 years too long. Now, when I look back, was it a mistake? No, because did I learn a lot? I did. Did I experience a lot? Gosh, more than most people would dream of. And did it find a place for education in my current job? Yes. So was it for naught? No, not at all. But I could have done all the same in a lot less years if I just listened to myself, where I was supposed to be, what I was feeling I was supposed to do, and not doing something to make somebody else happy. Because I was going to get to this point where I was at no matter where I started from. And that's really hard to do. Because when we sit in that place of, I have to do this, I have to. God, that just sounds horrible, doesn't it? I don't know about you, but I'm a person that rebels and says, oh my God, I don't want to do anything I have to do. If you tell me I have to do X, Y, and Z, those are the last things I'm going to do because I'm going to rebel. I don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to ever feel as if I'm being oppressed by somebody else or suppressed, whichever way you want to look at it, and feel like I have to do something I don't want to do, I don't choose to do, I am forced to do. Instead, I'd rather listen to myself and then allow myself to walk in that field, into that passion. And I honestly feel like that's a huge difference. Now, you can put this in so many different categories. It doesn't have to just be job related. Look at anything. Look at anything. Say you have this beautiful home, or what you feel is a beautiful home, and there's things that you would like to do to your home, that you would like to do. Upgrades for yourself, whether that be the outside, the color, the landscaping, your kitchen, whatever it might be. And you have somebody else that comes in and goes, oh my God, you just have to do this. You just have to do that. Just how can you have an outdated house? You should really go through and do all this stuff. The last thing you're going to want to do is do it because you feel obligated to do it. Not that you would enjoy it was done, but you feel obligated. And nobody should feel that way in their own home. Nobody should ever feel that way. Life is about passion. Life is about allowing something to come to you and lift you up, allowing you to, build on stepping stones of your own. You find people, that get to an insane moments in time. Albert Einstein, a genius. That gentleman had so many different talents and so many different interests, but because he was allowed to, I don't want to say allowed because I don't know if he was allowed or not, but he was able to do what he wanted to do. Look at all the advances we have. Tesla, the same thing. Look at him. He was actually put down by people. Not a lot of people supported him in his endeavors, but his passion is what he followed. And because that, we live in a much better society. Let's go back to Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin notoriously did what he wanted, including flying a kite. All these great people that you see in history that literally we look at as great people that have changed the course of our lives, didn't do it because somebody else said, do this. Matter of fact, these people were basically told, you're an idiot. You can't do that. What are you doing? Stop it. And instead of listening to that and feel obligated to run by society standards, they ran by their own. And because of that, today, we're a much better society. And I know for yourself, you're thinking, oh my gosh, why is she talking on such a big scale? Well, each person can be that person. Each person can, be that person that makes life a little bit better for themselves and or a whole population. It only takes one. But live in your passion. And I will tell you one big thing is when you start to live your passion, your life gets a little bit easier. Sometimes a lot bit easier. And I'm not going to say it doesn't immediately, because in the beginning, it's a struggle. In the beginning, you will see things shift. In the beginning, you will see things that you loved and you didn't ever want to be there walk away or fall away from your life. And you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, I can't have this. This isn't happening. This isn't how it's supposed to be. But you do. You watch things happen that are uncomfortable because you're going from something you felt obligated to do, something you felt that you had to do, into living your own passion. And it takes a little bit to align all those things. I mean, would it be great if the universe said, boom, here you go? And sometimes that does happen. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes that does happen. But for the most part, we have this wonderful system where we go, okay, this is just going to take time. This is going to take time. Even within my own career that I have going right now, a year ago, my career, it was vastly different than what it is today. And I put out, and what I did was I put out to the universe, I want change. It's been amazing to do what I've been doing, and I've been feeling awesome in doing it. But I need to shift it. I need to change it, because certain things within my career just don't feel right anymore. I don't want to do certain things, and I felt like I was forced to do certain things. And through that, literally has become kind of like my demise, because, excuse me, I haven't been as busy. I haven't been doing as much as I used to do, because here I was forcing myself to do something I felt I had to do, or in a way I was obligated to do it, just because I walked into it in a certain fashion. Hey, Paula, and I'm learning, even though I've had some struggles, and I'll tell you what, they've been struggles. I've been learning that when I release that obligation, when I release that expectation that, quite frankly, I put on myself, nobody else did. I didn't look at somebody else and say, oh my God, I'm going to do this. No, I did it to myself. I put that promise to myself. I put that obligation on myself. And with doing that, I had to look at myself and release myself from that obligation and say, I do not have to do this in any certain way anymore. I can allow the flow of myself and my career to unfold the way it's going to in a natural way. And that's when things start to shift. That's when things start to open up for you. And it's been incredible. Is it slow? It's a slow process, guys. I won't lie to you. It's a slow process. But as you're going, you start to see momentum. You start to see things unfold, and you start to see different opportunities come to you. And then you're going, oh my gosh, who would have thought all this magical stuff could happen? All because you begin to release you from your own obligation, you from your own word. That's a big one, isn't it? Because even though we look at our parents and we look at maybe our spouse, or we look at, our children or whoever, and we put these obligations on ourselves. We do it. And releasing yourself from that is not easy, because we try to put the blame on others. We try to put the blame on others. When I go back to my 20s, when I was going to school, and at any point I would have been honest with myself and said, this isn't something I like. This isn't a passion. It doesn't feel correct. Let me find a different way to enjoy my life. I could have very easily walked up to anybody I had a conversation with and went, you know what? I'm doing this anymore. It doesn't feel natural. Would there have been a little bit of disappointment and a little bit of scaredness for me? Yeah. Because people naturally do that. But I was still in the college phase. I was still in that phase where they might have went, well, you've only got a couple of years to figure it out. You better figure it out. And that's probably the conversation that would have been had. A lot easier than 21 years later looking at everybody going, I quit, I'm done, I'm not doing this, because then they're really terrified. And sometimes when we come to that point and we look at ourselves and we say, you know what, I'm going to release myself from the vows I took to myself, you start to realize that you are the only one that's put yourself in bondage. You're the only one that has tied yourself into doing something you are forcing yourself to do. Even when you come back to the promise, the very first page, but holding somebody else to a promise. When you've looked at somebody and you've allowed somebody else to promise you to do something, you have now put it in your own mind that you are not going to do it. Nobody else is going to do it. I'm going to have them do it. It puts you into a certain loyalty spot, doesn't it? And it puts you into this space where you're going, I'm loyal to a fault. I talked to this person. I've asked them to do this. They've said they were going to. And even if they do not come through with it, I'm going to stay loyal to this person because of their word. Who's suffering? Not the person that's not doing it. It's you that are suffering. Because people change. Loyalty is beautiful, but sometimes you have to look at loyalty and you need to open up and go, wait a second. Yes, I stated to ask you to be this person. Yes, I put this on you, but I'm realizing maybe this was too much for you. Maybe I'm putting an expectation on you that isn't right for you. And sometimes you have to pull back from that expectation and go, I need to open this up from other people. Let me put this in a simpler manner. Your car needs to get in to get fixed. Needs to get fixed. Okay? And you only have one mechanic you ever use. And you only go to that person, but they're so busy, they just can't get your vehicle in. So you keep waiting week after week after week after week, waiting for this person to do it. And when they're eventually able to get into their shop, it is no longer a small issue. Now it's a big issue. And it's going to cost a lot more for you and a lot more headache for them because you gave your loyalty to somebody instead of opening it up. You're putting your expectations on somebody that just does not have the availability for you. But yet, if you'd had that conversation and they said, I'm not going to be able to get you in anytime soon, you in that moment could have went in your mind, I'm going to release you from being my only mechanic and I'm going to go find somebody else. Because when they're telling you, I cannot get you in very soon, it's their way of saying, you need to go someplace else. I'd love to help you, but I can't. Your loyalty at that point is just hurting you. It's not helping you. It's not helping anybody you put in that car at all. And what if the very worst happens and you still hold out? You still can't get in. And you end up in a car accident or dead on the side of the road or whatever. That loyalty doesn't help. That thing you've put on somebody else is not helping you anymore. It's injuring you. It's injuring you. And trust me, if later on your mechanic ever gets wind that you went someplace else and you go, oh, I'm sorry, I went someplace else, they're going to say, no, I get it. I was so busy I couldn't get you in. I'd rather have you go someplace else to get it fixed than to stay with me. And that's how life works. I think if more of us opened up that path, opened up the avenues to allow different people to enter into our lives. Some people are going to help, some people are not. Some people are going to teach you to do it yourself. All of it ends up being really good for you, though, at the end of the day. But reaching out is the best thing you can do for you. Release people from their obligations like today. Literally state to yourself, I release myself and everybody else of all the obligations I've placed on them. And allow other opportunities to walk into your life. And then see where life takes you. Then see what happens in life. I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised that life is going to start to flow a little bit easier for you. And things that are magical are just going to start to happen. So with that being said, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to have our 5-card stud. This is DeEtte here on School Through Spirit, the Edge Network. See you in a few.
Join us at the Edge magazine, where enlightenment meets opportunity. As an advertiser, you'll reach a vibrant community of seekers and explorers eager to elevate their consciousness. Our full-color glossy publication, distributed to over 600 locations in US and Canada and reaching more than 100,000 readers annually, offers prime exposure to your holistic and metaphysical business, service, event, and products. Showcase your offerings with engaging articles and multi-page directory of practitioners. Connect with a discerning audience ready to embrace your unique contributions to their journey towards higher consciousness. Seize the opportunity to align your brand with the forefront of holistic exploration here, there, and everywhere. Contact sales at edgemagazine.net for more information about advertising options. Let's connect and explore how we can elevate your brand together.
Do you or someone in your family suffer from nightmares? Is your home cluttered and you can't seem to clear it out? Your home or office may have low vibrational energy, and it could be impacting you and your family. Using the ancient techniques of dowsing, Master Dowser Annette Regalo can raise the vibration of your home or office by identifying and curing stress lines and negative vortexes that may be creating disharmony in your home or office. Annette has over 20 years of dowsing experience and is passionate about creating high vibrational spaces for others to live and work. Contact Annette today at 612-394-3736 or AnnetteRegalo.com. Join us at the Souls of Spirit Spiritual and Holistic Expos as a part of your spiritual awakening journey. Get ready for a day of enlightenment and exploration at one of our upcoming expos. Our events are where all things spiritual and holistic come to life. Experience a diverse range of vendors offering healing jewelry, natural products, and metaphysical merchandise. Immerse yourself in the mystical arts guided by mediums, psychics, and Reiki practitioners. Interact with energy healers and health professionals ready to provide rejuvenating services. Be one of the first 25 attendees and receive a fantastic gift bag full of treasures from participating vendors. Bring your loved ones along. These family-friendly events have something special for everyone. The $5 entry fee includes educational speakers and up to 40 vendor booths. Mediumship group gallery is just $25. Free expo admission for those under 12 or showing military ID. Find out more about upcoming events in North, South Dakota, and Montana at soulsofspiritexpos.com.
Welcome back. This is DeEtte here on the Edge Network with Schooled Through Spirit. How is everybody doing? Okay, here is the cards today. The Goddess Oracle. It says that Goddess Oracle deck and book set. Remember, this is by Amy Sophia Marashinsky. And it is published by U.S. Game Systems, Inc., which, you know what, they're doing some amazing things over there. It says the Goddess Oracle celebrates the many faces of the goddess, worshipped in cultures around the world since the beginning of time. The distinctive deck and book set offers insights and guidance for handling the challenges that face you, and techniques for developing all areas of yourself and your life. The deck are comprised of 52 cards, each representing a different energy or aspect of the feminine wisdom. The 188-page companion book provides an original poem, mythological background, and card meaning suggested ritual for each goddess card. The Goddess Oracle can help you understand where you are headed, and what you need for the journey. Quite beautiful. Now, it did come without the cellophane, but look at, I love these. I love how they open. Here is the book, a nice hefty book with everything I do believe that it promises. I have a child that's going to ask me something really soon here. Go ahead. She needs help. Can you get me scissors, please? So with the deck, I do believe that it works pretty well. It does, I'm opening popsicles, guys. Don't worry. They all had breakfast. Here you go. They all had breakfast. We're doing good. But the handbook, it does look a really nice one. I kind of like, kind of not like this part of it, because like it does have the person, the card meaning there. It's got one page there, one page here. Nice to see, nice big lettering. But what I don't like is this. It starts the next card at the end of the first card. It's not something I necessarily like for myself. It's a little bit harder for me to find the card then when it kind of it feels like it blends all together. For somebody else, they might not mind that at all. For myself, it just kind of deals my OCD. It does. I won't even lie. It's just one of those things for myself. And yeah, but other people, it may not bother them at all. So let's go into this, the deck. Nice little placeholder inside the box for the cards. And I kind of like this. Look at this. Look at the back of the card. Beautiful backs. Beautiful backs. The fronts, nice imagery. Very nice imagery on the fronts of the cards. Here's another one. There we go. I like that. I will tell you one thing I like about there's no numbers on the cards. There's no numbers on the cards. And I like that. Why? Because when you open up a deck, remember when we talk about an opened up deck, they never come pre-shuffled, do they? Never. So when you get a deck of cards and there's no numbers, there's no pre-shuffling. So you don't feel like you have to shuffle for eons to get it all mixed up. And you don't have to beg the gods to pre-shuffle the cards before you get to it. Yeah, that's what I like. That's one thing I will tell you what is a very big positive on this card. I do like the illustration because it really is, it really depicts the goddess. I will tell you what, in its natural setting. It's not changed for society standards, which I like. I do like that. So in 5-card stud, what we're doing is kind of doing a mini reading for the rest of the week for you. First card is, you can pick 1 card, 2 cards, all 5 cards if you like. Or you can go into the end and wait until I put the cards together for a full reading. And if you have 6 different questions, simply write down your questions and then write down a number next to it and know that that card is answering that one particular question for you. Okay. So with that being said, here we go. Here we go. Card number 1 is, Yima, surrender. Yima, surrender. Gorgeous card. For me, I can tell you what that card already means. That is really just time for you to start looking at life itself. I don't think I'm going to need the book for this. It's really looking at, this is time. It's hard for us. It's hard for us to just surrender to something else. It's hard for us to say, I'm going to throw my hands up and whatever happens, happens. Okay. We want to control. We want to make our reality. We want to make our future and whatever it's supposed to be. To surrender to different possibilities, to surrender to go, oh my God, I'm going to just throw my hands up in the air and say, I've done my best. Whatever happens, happens is really hard. But you've come to a place in life, if you pick card number 1, where you've done it all. There's nothing more for you can do. There's nothing more that you can do. So your best bet is to throw your hands up and say, whatever it is what it's going to be, and we're just going to go with it. Card number 2 is Uzmi. It is the laughter card. Card number 2. I like that because it's telling me to remind you that you do have an inner child, that you do have an inner playfulness that you're not allowed to come out. You've been all serious, all business, all getting things done and not really going into your own soul and saying, oh my gosh, I have this inner child that needs to play, that needs to laugh, that needs to experience joy. Because as we get to be adults, we don't necessarily go within anymore, do we? We're always outside of ourselves. We're in our heads. We're out here. We're never really going inward all the way. And this card, if you pick number 2, it is time for you to put everything down and to let that little child of yours play. It's allow you to go and be the best you can be in a fun way. Go book that vacation. Go play on the playground. Go play with your kids or your grandkids, whatever it might be. Go and do it. Okay. Allow yourself to let your hair down and just have some fun. Card number 4 is Tara. It's centering. While this is one of those cards, if you pick number 3, you are looking at you. It's time for you to bring yourself back. You've been getting all out here of yourself. You've been here, there, and everywhere, but not here. Okay. And this card is telling you to bring it all back in to yourself. Bring it all back into here. Because you've got some big things happening in your life, but there's a lot of big things. There's a lot of aspects happening all at the same time, and you're losing that space. You're losing that place. You're getting lost within it. So you have to kind of bring it back into your center, bring it into your being, and then reevaluate everything that's around you in order for you to get the most done. Excuse me. Card number 4 is illness and wellness. It is Sulis. Beautiful card. Illness and wellness. And it's kind of like looking at what you've got. Okay. Illness and wellness. When we're looking at it, doesn't mean that you're going to be getting sick. It's telling you to start taking care of yourself, to look at yourself, to see where you're at. Take care of your situations at home. Take care of situations in your life. Why? Because if you don't, you're going to end up having ill things that are breaking, things that are not happening in the way they're supposed to happen naturally. And don't be surprised if some things break around you, no matter how much you tend to them, because they're not supposed to be in your life anymore anyway. So when that does happen, acknowledge that. Right now, if you're putting your time in, you're taking the time, you're putting the time to build it, to grow it, but you have that thing in your life, you just can't get it to do what you need it to do, realize it's just not supposed to be with you anymore and allow that to go, just allow it to drift away. And the last card is Challenge, which is the Sphinx card. Oh my God, we have to finish cup 5 with the Challenge card. I see that in my whole inner side goes, you know, but you know what? Some people really like a challenge because challenge is about growth. And so this card really, if you pick number 5, you're looking at everything that's going on and you have some situations in your life that really are challenging, that you're going, you know what, life is usually a lot easier than what it is. You're really having some difficulty here and this challenge is happening. Okay. And you're going, why is this happening for me? Why? Because it's time for you to push yourself. It's time for you to grow. It's time for you to expand who you are. So a challenge is presenting itself within your life, not to be a pain in your tush, but to help you on your own journey. Allow that to happen. Look at it, breathe through it, see a way to get through it, get around it, but allow it to uplift you. So card number 1 was surrender. Card number 2 is laughter. Card number 3 is centering. 4 is illness, wellness, and 5 is challenge. And if I look at all these cards together, this is going to be a fun week. I will tell you what, this is going to be a fun week. Why? Because there is some things, and I almost want to read these cards from backward to forward versus forward to back, because it's quite beautiful. Because when I look at them, I'm seeing that you're having a lot going on. There's a lot going on in your life. It's all over the place. And you're going, how can I start another week the way I ended last week? You know, how can I do this? It's too much. It just feels like it's coming in on me. And these cards are literally telling you to go, wait a second. Kind of reassess, bring this back to you, reassess. What do I really want to do? What do I don't want to do? What's working, what's not working? And let some things fall away, because not everything has to be done to make a great existence. Allow that to happen. Allow yourself then to surrender to it. Allow yourself to say, okay, now I've gotten this down to where it's the most viable for me and the best for me. And now you're going to surrender to it, because I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm not lying about this one. It's not just because cards there. It's going to be a lot of fun, because you're going to sit back and go, oh my gosh, I was really trying to do all of that or put all that on me. No wonder why I wasn't getting anywhere. You know, you're surrendering to the process. You're surrendering to you. You're allowing yourself to let go of the expectations you put on yourself and to form new ones. This is going to be a lot of fun this week, about allowing you to become the person you're supposed to be, that you want to be, and allowing that which you weren't supposed to have anything to do with to go away. So I hope that helps there. I like these cards. These cards are fun. These cards are fun. They're easy to read. I will tell you what, especially if you're a beginner, these cards are going to be easy for you. So if if you've never really read the Oracle decks, if you've never really you've wanted to go in the world of divination, but you're really not quite sure, that they're all a little bit too much, I will tell you what, for a beginner, I would definitely look at these cards. Just because, you know what, the imagery is beautiful. They're true to life, easy to read. The book gives you a lot of information. I didn't even have to open up the book to even read one of these cards. So I really do think this is a good deck for a lot of those people out there. If you want to keep it simple, this is the way to go. So, where am I going to be this week, guys? This week, yes, on Saturday, guys. Saturday, I will be in Duluth, Minnesota. Duluth, Minnesota. Give me a second here. I'll even give you the place where I'm going to be at. In Duluth, Minnesota, I am with Soul and Synergy this weekend, traveling, having a good old time, doing what we do, doing every readings, doing galleries, doing it all. We are at the Holiday Inn Downtown Conference Center in Duluth, Minnesota, and that is on First Street. So it's going to be just a lot of fun, guys. Again, I love it. I am so happy to be going back to Duluth. I have not been in Duluth in years. I mean, years to work. And I'm so excited. Such an amazing group of people, such an amazing community. The town itself is gorgeous. And I can't wait for everybody to show up there. So you can find me there this Saturday from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. I do have the gallery this Saturday. That'll be at 1:30. Remember, that's an extra charge once you get there. If you're not wanting anything to do with the gallery, you just want to say hi, come in, say hi, give me a hug, sit down for a reading, whatever you like. I'm having lots and lots and lots of fun with that. Now, next week, it's busy. Next week, I'm on the other side. So, this Saturday, I'm in Duluth, Minnesota. Next week, I'm in Michigan for Michigan Paracon up at the St. Sainte Marie. And if you've always wanted to go, that is the largest Paracon in the United States, as far as I know. It's huge. I cannot tell you how many celebrities and guests and workshops that come in. It's amazing. But it's the last one, guys. If you've ever wanted to go and experience the world of the Michigan Paracon, this is your year to do it, because this is the last one. They've announced it last week. We're done. We're not doing it anymore. So there is that. Okay. So guys, again, see me this Saturday in Duluth, at the Holiday Inn Downtown Conference Center. I will be with Soul and Synergy, and it's going to be a great time. I do have openings for readings this week and next week before I head to Michigan. Not sure if my website's going to be up yet. If it is DeEtte.us. Keep trying it. Eventually, it's going to say I'm there. And after that, you can always find me on Facebook, which is DeEtte Renee. DeEtte Renee on Facebook, or DeEtte.us on Facebook, or just email me, medium@DeEtteRenee.com. Even though my scheduler isn't obviously up and about, I can definitely still get you scheduled. Okay. So feel free to reach out, and my email there is up on the screen, medium@DeEtteRenee. I hope to see you very soon, guys. We will see you next week with School Through Spirit here on the Edge Network. Stay tuned, guys. A lot of great things happening. Bye-bye.
There are psychic mediums, but there is nothing like DeEtte. Let's face it, we all struggle time and again. But if you seek the clarity you deserve, then you need to seek DeEtte. As a master teacher, DeEtte studied under international psychic medium Lisa Williams. Together, they not only help DeEtte better tap into spirit, but also build a long-lasting relationship. So many psychics tell us what we want to hear, and that just won't cut it with DeEtte. She tells you what you need to hear. No sugarcoating here. To book a reading with DeEtte is simple. Just visit her website, DeEtte.us. That's DeEtte.us. And follow the Yellow Brick Road to connect with DeEtte. Don't just sit there and ponder those questions. Ask them and let DeEtte guide you every step of the way. You need insight now, and DeEtte can help. Just visit DeEtte.us. That's DeEtte.